Voiceover script, Royal Wedding 2025 crown Leonor and Christian in Copenhagen. The world expected a royal wedding. But no one expected this. Not here. Not now. Not like this. Princess Leonor of Spain. Prince Christian of Denmark. A love story that was never meant to be public. A romance hidden from cameras, whispered only in palace halls. And yet, today, the world is watching. This is not just a wedding. It's a union of two royal houses. A bond between Spain and Denmark. A moment that rewrites history and the future. So how did we get here? How did a quiet friendship between two young royals turn into the event of the decade? And what really happened inside Copenhagen's Amalienborg Palace before the grand ceremony? Let's go back. Leonor, the future Queen of Spain, was raised for duty. Every step measured, every word rehearsed, every smile studied by millions. But behind the crown, there was a young woman, longing for freedom, longing for love. Christian, heir to the Danish throne, was no stranger to scrutiny either. From his earliest days, he was trained for the weight of kingship. Yet those who knew him best say he was always warm, always playful, always ready to break protocol with a grin. They first met as teenagers. A casual royal event, a brief exchange, a handshake that lingered just a little longer. No one noticed. Not then. But the friendship grew. Letters turned into calls. Calls into visits. By the time Leonor turned 18, the whispers had already started. And by the time she was 20, it was undeniable, they were in love. Still, this wedding was not inevitable. There were challenges. There was tension. Two nations, two traditions, two sets of royal advisors, all with opinions, all with expectations. Some said it was too soon. Some said the match was too risky. Some said a future Queen of Spain should never leave Madrid. But Leonor had other plans. And Christian had her heart. Fast forward to today, Copenhagen is glowing under a clear spring sky. The streets are alive. Flags of Spain and Denmark wave side by side. Crowds have gathered for hours, shoulder to shoulder, waiting for just one glimpse of the royal couple. Inside the palace, it's a different world. The halls smell faintly of polished wood and royal flowers. The bride is getting ready. Her dress, a closely guarded secret, is finally revealed. It is breathtaking. Classic Spanish silk, with a modern Danish silhouette. Every detail tells a story, embroidery inspired by the Spanish royal crest, a veil borrowed from Queen Letitia's own wedding gown, a tiara once worn by Queen Margrethe herself. Leonor stands still as her mother adjusts the final pin. She looks radiant, calm, but her hands tremble slightly. She takes a deep breath. Meanwhile, Christian is in another wing of the palace, fastening his ceremonial uniform. He smiles, but his best man later says he was quiet, almost meditative. He knew the weight of this moment. The bells of Copenhagen ring. Carriages line up. The procession begins. Crowds cheer as Queen Letizia and King Felipe arrive, followed by Crown Prince Frederick and Crown Princess Mary. Then silence falls as Leonor's carriage turns the corner. The future queen steps out. The air seems to hold its breath. Photographers scramble, flashes light up the square, but all eyes are on her. Inside the cathedral, the music swells. Christian is already at the altar, his posture perfect, his smile small but full of pride. When Leonor enters, he cannot hide the tears in his eyes. The ceremony begins. Vows are exchanged in Spanish and Danish. Every word resonates, not just with the couple, but with everyone watching. And then, the moment. The kiss. History is sealed. Copenhagen erupts into applause, bells peal, confetti rains down. But the story doesn't end there. The reception is held in the grand halls of Christiansborg Palace. Guests include royals from across Europe, world leaders, childhood friends, and even a few carefully chosen members of the public. The first dance is simple, elegant, and deeply personal, a Spanish waltz chosen by Leonor herself. King Felipe is seen wiping away a tear as he watches his daughter dance. Queen Margrethe beams with pride as Christian leads his new bride across the floor. And yet, the cameras catch something else. Subtle glances, whispered conversations, the presence of figures whose approval was once uncertain. Was there tension behind the scenes? Sources close to the palace say yes. But tonight, none of it shows. Tonight, Copenhagen belongs to love. As the night deepens, speeches are made. Christian speaks first, thanking Leonor for her courage, her strength, her heart. Leonor responds, her voice steady, promising to honor not just her new role as wife, but her future as queen. The final toast is given by King Felipe himself. He raises his glass, and with emotion, declares that Spain and Denmark are not just allies, but family. Fireworks light the Copenhagen sky. Music drifts into the streets. And somewhere in the quiet of the palace, Leonor and Christian share a private moment, away from cameras, away from history, just two young people, in love, starting their life together. This is the wedding the world will talk about for years. Not just because of its grandeur, but because of its heart. A union of two nations, two destinies, two souls. And as dawn approaches, one thing becomes clear: the story of Leonor and Christian is just beginning.